Good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to FYI. For your information, it's the 27th day of April already. Believe it or not, we got a couple holidays coming up, folks, and we're looking forward to it. Much like you guys to rest and recuperate, to refire. If you're joining us, you're getting us loud and clear. Let us know that, folks, if you're receiving us at your end, loud and clear. Welcome to FYI, guys. We're happy to be on this morning with you, folks. Delighted to be on. Let us know if you're receiving us loud and clear and loud. Good to have each and every one of you. Whether you guys are joining us on Twitter, you're joining us on YouTube, you're joining us on Facebook, or any other social media platform, we are delighted that you folks are here with us this morning. We hope you had a great night's rest and you're up, you're fired up, and you are ready to go, hitting the ground running today, good folks. And to all those other pages that we are maybe now passing through, to a very good morning to you guys as well. And we're happy that you folks are spending this time with us. Let us know all of the technicians who are on duty this morning, the hundreds of you, if you're receiving our audio loud and clear. Grand Rising, Fair Lion and Orwindon Cook. To all the valid viewers, we only want valid viewers and credible comments. And good to have you folks on the live with us this morning. We trust that all is well at your end, guys. Debbie Apple and Fennell Innes. Annette Cummins, good to have you. Michael Blyden, Orwin Dawn, Wills, Felix, how you doing out there? Warren from Long Island, Warren. Great to have you at this end. And all the other good folks joining us. Sean of Fortune, good to see you as well. Annette says loud and clear. Technician Annette signing up for duty this morning says loud and clear. We'll be happy that you guys are here. Shane Blackman, we see you there as well. Shane and Yvette Juna, good to see you, Yvette, and all the other guys, good to see you. Good to have you join us this morning. Great to have you wherever you are joining us from. Some are tuning in from the tube, our tubers. Some are tuning in like Karen Black. Some are tuning in from Facebook. Some are tuning in from Twitter. Good to have you folks. LinkedIn supposed to be with us as well. Your folks who join us from LinkedIn. We are happy that you folks are here with us. Karen Black says loud and clear. Good. Rhonda Gordon is here too. Don Sullivan says watching. Guys, a good morning to each and every one of you. Quite a few things we are following this morning, and we trust that you guys are great. And you all know where we're coming in from. We're going to be tracking some of the things we are following in the morning papers. Folks, some of those headlines that are popping out at us, we're going to be touching on some of that. And then we're going to be drifting down to what's happening, guys, internationally. We're going to be touching on some of that, some of the things that are making news internationally. And then we are circling back home. We bringing in some of the information we are tracking, maybe from Latin America into the Caribbean. Those are some of the stuff we're going to be touching on regionally. And then, folks, we circle back to some of the big issues making the day in the 592, good folks. Some of the big issues making the day in the 592. But first up, we want to run through some of those headlines. We want to touch base with some of those headlines that are making the morning papers. We trust that you guys there, you all are well, you all are good. Touching base on some of the things making the headline, good folks, and a very good morning to each and every one of you, those of you who are now joining us. Siobhan McDonald says loud and clear. We're happy, Siobhan. Happy that that's how you folks are receiving us. Debbie Collins, all the technicians on duty this morning. Yep, the shop early this morning. Folks, thanks for showing up for work. There's a quote, and I know you guys could probably remember it better than I can, that showing up is 90%, I think it is. Showing up is 90% of the job. Showing up. A lot of people don't show up. A lot of mouth, a lot of gusto, a lot of promises. They don't show up. And some of that we're finding locally. But you folks, we admire you guys for your stick-to-itiveness. We admire you guys. FYI, we've been out here for over a year now. And you guys have been with us from day one. And you keep bringing it. You keep helping to keep us sharp as we seek to bring you guys credible, valid information. And we're just happy that all you folks are with us. We are just very, very happy, guys, that you're with us. Hope the day started well. We got a cup of good tea at this end. That's how we're starting it. starting it light, and then we're gonna pick up the pace a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Yeah. A beautiful cup of tea. Remember I told you I was me and my tea, yeah? And leave it so. Folks, they're telling us here, weather.com that is, it's 28 degrees outside where we are, but they're telling us it feels like 30. It feels like 30. I think so too. It feels like 30. And they're also telling us that where we are in the national capital city of Georgetown, where we're broadcasting live from, guys, that there's a 34% chance it's going to rain today. 34% chance it's going to rain. All right, so if anything, pack an umbrella if you're in the national capital city or coming in this way. I wish we had good reception in some places in our country, like Port Kaituma, Paramakatoy. Folks, you haven't had a chance to visit your country, in that way. Beautiful country we have, Keto. You got Keto, Keiko, we hope that you get a chance to visit beautiful places, in places like Paramakatoy, they're so highly elevated. The air is moist, cool, good for your lungs. That's one of the places on my bucket list. Got to run. I did some running in Paramakatoy, right? I want to do some more running there. But we got some beautiful places. I heard that Surama, I've never been to Surama. I've heard that Surama is quite beautiful. That's one of the places on my bucket list, And it's good to get away sometimes. I plan to get away a little bit during summer, get away a little bit during summer. Good to get away a little bit and just, relax and take it a little bit easy. And when you're in those places, folks, Georgetown feels like a lifetime away. Politics especially feels like a lifetime away. You're just in touch with nature and you get a chance to listen to your own self think for a bit, which is very important, to recharge, to refire and come again. You get a chance to sneak away once in a while. You ain't gonna miss nothing. You ain't gonna miss nothing. And you know what? I'm always comforted by the fact that, you're dead and gone. Life goes on. Life goes on. The king is dead. Long live the king. Just like that. Life goes on. So they're telling us again, 28 degrees where we are, feels like 30 outside. And there is a high percentage chance it's going to rain. High percentage chance. 34% chance it's going to rain. Do what you got to do, folks. Make the best use of that information. But good to have you guys here. Lynette Braffett, we see you. Naomi Drucker, we see you. Naomi said, that's my plan. I did Kaichur last visit. I want to do Lethem next. Oh, Lethem is good. And I'm fascinated. One of the things about life in general, anything new you try and then you're exposed to it over a period of time. Sometimes you get numb to it, right? Lethem developed so much under the coalition. My last visit to Lethem was under the coalition. Those roads they were putting down there. And to know that, Brazil is right there. You drive around the corner, you go through you go through the checkpoint, and there's Brazil, right? Some folks from Lethem took me over to Brazil. It was a breeze. Into Bumfin. Well, you know what? We up until that time, we had to apologize when people in Lethem, for the poor infrastructure we've had there for 20 odd years of the previous iteration of the PP government. Because when you step over in Bumfin, all the roads are nice. And Bumfin to Brazil is one of those far out places. The roads, we took a drive through some of the communities there. Everything was looking up and up. But once you step over back the border, Brookup Road and so on, so we were well on our way in those places like Lethem. And you could talk what you want about the last administration, given whatever political preference you had. If they were going by certain dictates, is where you get the votes from, is where you're going to put down the infrastructure. Right? Lethem is still trailing behind. And the coalition got a lot of views out for not picking up more votes in Lethem, Region 9 in general, based on the infrastructural work that went down there. But they did a lot of work there. Lethem is beautiful, beautiful. right? And I mean, we don't get no sponsorship from them yet. But I stayed there at the Tacuba, am I getting it right? Takatu guest house there. It's reasonably nice. Folks, Lethem is I found it so different. It was like a foreign country. When you go to some of the supermarkets in Lethem, everything is from next door. Well, of course, you got the border right there. Everything in the supermarket is Brazil or something like. You feel as though you're in a foreign country. Right? The radio stations and the television signals they pick up clearly there, of course, is right next door. Right? And then you have the influence of the language. As a matter of fact, there was one of my other trips there. There was a tongue day, and folks, 90%, 95% of the program, I dare say, was in Portuguese. And you're in Lethem. You're in Lethem. It's fascinating how the border, influences different places, different communities right in our own country. I remember going to Morocco, another beautiful place. Very, very beautiful. That main bridge in Morocco was dilapidated, and, for a long time, we fixed that bridge, put in a spanking new bridge there. We did a lot of work. Probably needed to do some more PR on some of the things that we did. But Morocco is another fascinating place. I was fascinated by the dialect. You listen to Moroccans and you think, am I in my own country? English in some of these places sound like a foreign language. They're more versed with what's going on across the border. And even sometimes you're impressed with the English language spoken by our indigenous brothers and sisters, because it sounds like the English more than it sounds like the Guyanese version of English. So we have a fascinating culture, and sometimes you gotta divorce yourself from the politics a little bit to enjoy it. That's where we're picking up the discussion from this morning. Sometimes you gotta get away a little bit, divorce yourself from the politics and so on, and just enjoy, the rest that is this country. And again, I say, we kick the bucket and we go 6 feet down under. But I know they can burn me because I wanna be cremated. You think I want a place like Rupentier? Forever and ever and ever more? I stop it. Folks, find a nice, beautiful part in this country and sprinkle your boy. You see, but I want to see more of life before that time. And I encourage you, get a chance to get away, get away and, rejuvenate, reinvigorate, revitalize, refire, don't retire, So we got a lot ahead of us, I thought I'd start with that, Let's have the things we're covering, folks, as we head into the morning papers today. Some of the stuff we're picking up on. They're bringing this American chain called Cinnabon. It says it's going to be at Giftland Mall. I've been taking a peek at some of the things, Some of these things I take a long look at to study them, of course, for your benefit. Like that Selma Hayek photograph we showed on our evening program the other day. I take a long look at that one, boy. Study it intricately. I won't bring in everything and say, I am very honored the position I have to disseminate news and information. I want to make sure it's valid and incredible. And when I saw the offerings here, Tommy Gibbs wanted, if I don't want to be buried in the jungle in Georgetown. Folks, we used to have a jungle on Home Stretch, right? Jubilee Park, I hope they keep that name. It's a beautiful name. Jubilee Park there, and they said they're going to put a stadium there now. I hope all goes well. But they're telling us that this American franchise, Cinnabon, is coming to Giftland Mall. When I saw that this morning, when I was going through this cart here, like all I needed was the tea. All I needed was the tea. You see? Because when I saw this thing here, they said if you got a sweet tooth, Cinnabon is the place for you. I consumed a lot of sweet when I was young. I'm trying to ease off now. It didn't do too well for me and carrying my teeth. I'm trying to what does the good book says? Redeem the time. Trying to redeem the time, but it says Cinnabon come in. So I now I get in some struggles. In strugglation, you see all the thing dripping off of those croissant, you know, you see how it dripping there? Temptation, folks. Temptation. So they're telling us that this franchise is coming. It's coming, guys, and they're gonna be down there at the Gippsland Mall. We happy for them. We happy for them. You know, Cinnabon looks delish. We happy. We happy for them, folks. That's one of the things we're tracking this morning one of the headlines that jumped out at us, you know. One of the headlines that jumped out at us. Look, let's be following it, folks. Look what else we follow. Another headline for you folks. Another headline. Oh, this isn't gone yet. Home Affairs PS, the president says, was on training for the People's Progressive Party Civic. You know, I wonder, the more we unpack this particular issue, you know, it's more questions than answers. The more we unpack the issue of Maitreusson, Junior Thomas, the more we know, the more questions we have. Right? Because I want to know, like, how you just get time off to go from your government work, to go and do party work? How does that work? How do you apply for leave like that? Say, Ben, I'm going to do a little party work. I can take a month. You know, was Susan an annual leave? Was the PS an annual leave? Irvin said she was doing party work. Naomi Drucker. Commissioner Cole, Mavis Davis, well, she was doing party work. Magnet Barrow, you're catching that? You're picking that up? Sherlyn Juice, Henry, she was doing party work. Deborah Barker. You know, just the more we delve into this, he said he didn't see any controversy here. That's what Irfan said. He didn't see any controversy. Folks, we're going to unpack a little bit more on me in our broadcast, because Maitreusson released a statement yesterday. And again, the deeper we go into this, more questions than answers. More questions than answers. So Irfan said he can cover for sure. Remember Donald, the cover for Anil, and said he gave Anil the law books? Right? See, Irfan covered the Irfan said she went on PPP walk. The tag team in this one, because they got to keep me in the fold. So the tag team in it. Right? Naomi Drucker reminds us, Irfan said he ain't fully briefed, but he's talking. You see? He ain't fully briefed yet, but he's speaking. He said she went on PPP walk. Yeah. Heading to China. You know, they're communists. They said she was going to a communist party conference. It was one party in China. And it's the Communist Party. Right? So she was going on behalf of the government, on behalf of the PPP. That's what he said, and he didn't see no controversy. You know, slam to wall, handcuff, visa revoked. He didn't see any controversy in that. And here's where she was heading. That's what he said. That's what he said. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about this later on in our program. We're going to be circling back to it, folks. We're going to be circling back to it. Among other things, we're going to be circling back to that. See? And that statement May put out yesterday, we're going to be circling back to it. Look what else we're following. This was Trinidad. Brutal murder about 2 days ago. Good tea. It's hard to drink the tea. Who's the short talk to you? Family vacates home after triple murder in Trinidad. Family vacates home after triple murder in Trinidad. That's what we're picking up. One of the headlines today. And folks, they were so gruesome. Telling us that criminals in Trinidad posing as members of the Trinidad police force, police service, right, got into this family home, ordered two brothers and a relative, I think it was, to lie face down on the ground, and then they shot them in the heads. Yep. 3 family members gone the same day. And the same way, the family now said they've moved out the house, said they can't live there anymore. They vacated the home after this triple murder. You understand the level, you know? If we don't arrest crime where it is, and we're in a bad place right now. Right? And we just start pumping oil. And all these things come with it, you know. Oh, y'all think it's own development and so on. A lot of other elements come with being an oil-producing nation like Trinidad and Tobago. And so this triple murder has shaken Trinidad. The family said, we gone. Can't stay here anymore. Men posing in police uniform as though they're from the police force. Ordered them on the ground and shot them in the heads. You know, we got a chance still to give some direction to how this thing develops. You know, and to build capacity for what we do with it in the police force, while at the same time we experiencing all of this growth in national wealth. Of course, you and I know that I'm filtering down the chain to the people who really need it the most. No. So I say national wealth in uplifted commas. But the family said, we can't live there anymore. We can't live there anymore. And the family making a beeline. Tell you what they said. You see, we can't live there anymore. You know, somebody's trying to call me now. Clearly don't watch our show. You know, clearly don't watch our show. Clearly. Right? So that's what we're seeing there out of Trinidad. Family say, we gone. We're done with that. All right? Folks, you gotta be careful out there because we kind of creeping up. We kind of creeping up a little bit. You got to watch that. This one is the other headlines we're following. Now, this one is interesting. ANUG, a new and United Guyana political party, visited recently with the U.S. Ambassador, Her Excellency Sarah Lynch. And, you know, some of what they spoke about, you know, tells us we heading a little bit to Trinidad, you know. We heading a little bit. We heading there. It was interesting to read some of what's coming out of this meeting with ANUG and the American ambassador there in Fordyce, Naomi Drucker. Interesting. Eric Williams, Dan Fordyce, Deborah Barker, Melissa McFarlane. Very interesting. Some of what we read coming out of this meeting that ANUG had with the American authorities there. Right? Very interesting. Listen to some of what we kind of plucked out of this report of this meeting. You know, according to Starbuck News, a new and United Guyana executive met with the American ambassador Sarah Lynch to discuss a number of pressing issues. Right? So this is not APNU AFC, this is ANUG. Right? A number of pressing issues affecting the Guyanese public and to inquire about common areas of interest. Inquiring about common areas of interest. In particular, right? Here the issues ANUG says affecting Guyana. So it's not just one set of people in a corner making noise, because even them ones operate as though they know what they're talking about, man. In this one Guyana, we're apparently living in a different Guyana. So here's some of the issues that ANUG raised with the American ambassador. Crime. I thought everything nice here. There's a pressing issues affecting the Guyanese public. Crime. Just sipping my tea. Crime. Corruption. And the associated threat to social instability. Not APNU AFC causing social instability. Crime, corruption, and the associated threat, Guyana nowadays, to social instability. Those were among some of the issues that ANUG raised. But you can tell that one of them was chief among them because they really went on about this particular one. Anouk said that the democratic principles and economic development were highlighted, with the need for greater transparency being generally agreed. Greater transparency. I thought Gail said they champion of transparency. Anouk feel differently. Anouk feel differently, Margaret Nelson. Anouk said they need greater transparency, and that was generally agreed, that there was a need for greater transparency. And then look this one. Right? Anouk said that as a pillar of their beliefs, ensuring the highest level of transparency is critical to develop the nation. It's critical. So it's crime, it's corruption. You know, and then the transparency. The government is not very transparent. Or not transparent at all. Anouk said they believe transparency is critical to develop the nation. Right? Critical, they said. But it's where they go next. They said we remind the PPP, the governing PPP, are reminding them that it is answerable to the people of Guyana in its implementation of policies, issues of security, and corruption. So all the trolls, for instance, who are following us, all the trolls, and we love that you guys come. This is what a democracy must do. You must have a clash, not of ethnicities, a clash of ideas. So forget, for instance, APNU AFC. Is Anouk wrong too? Anouk them weren't they part of the Guardians? Huh? I hear the Guardians now talking about crime, corruption. I thought when the people come, it was going to be nice time. It was going to be heaven and earth. Crime, corruption. You know? They want transparency. Right? Issues of security. All of that in this thing. Anouk reminds the governing PPP that it is answerable to the people of Guyana in its implementation of policies, transparency, here's that word again, issues of security and corruption. See, I mean, it's all of we mad and just the PP, right? That's a good question. Yolanda Thomas, is all of we crazy and the PP is the only one that right? You can't argue with them on transparency. They believe that everything bright and beautiful. Right? Everything bright and beautiful. Has the Commission of Information ever released any information that was requested of him? Has he ever released any information? The Commission of Information. Has he ever? How many reports? How many findings have been hidden away, locked away by the PPP? We coming down to May, Tucson. Almost 2 weeks ago, all that happened in Miami happened. And government said they're still waiting on a report. Folks, the Commission of Inquiry report seemed to take a lesser time to be put together than this report concerning me in the US. The Commission of Inquiry into the 2020 election seemed to take a much shorter time to produce their report. 2 weeks and counting, and may still write a report. If he hasn't been briefed, he's been bucked up. He has not been briefed. Right? But he ain't got no problem. No controversy here, but he hasn't been briefed. That's how this government is fascinating, you know. He ain't get the report yet, but he say he got no problem. They got no controversy. Same thing with Ben. Ben say may stay on the job, but the report is still pending. We're waiting to see what she said. We're going to talk about what she said, Naomi. We're going to talk about what she said. She published a statement. Presidency has not been briefed. See? He has not been briefed. Can't fault him if he has not been briefed. He's been bucked up. It is what it is, good folks. It is what it is. And we're going to be changing gears a little bit, heading into some of those international headlines out there. See, being brief. What do you want we do? What do you want we do? What do you want we do? He has not been brief. Some of those headlines internationally, good folks. Some of the things we're following this morning. A couple of the things we are following at our end. A couple of things we're following. A couple. And first up, do we have this right? Do we have this right? They're telling us, guys. First up, first one we're following. First up, and we've been trying to track this one a little bit. Right? We've been trying to track this one for a little bit, and they're telling us in Sudan, things continue to deteriorate in Sudan. You know, and you got a lot of the international countries. They have been pulling their citizens out, embassy staff, you know, expatriates and the likes. They've been pulling them out. You know, we saw overnight the Home Secretary there in the UK, Suella Beaverman, right? She says that they are ruling out introducing safe and legal routes, you know, to the UK for refugees. So if you're a Sudanese and you want to flee the violence, the UK ain't taking people, right? They're not taking anybody. She said they're not making any plans. You know, they don't have any plans for making provisions for civilians from Sudan to access the UK. Right? And then she goes on to say that it may be possible, they're telling us, it may be possible to evacuate citizens. It's going to be impossible to evacuate citizens once this ceasefire. And even in the ceasefire, you got bombs going off and fires being and shots being fired. Even in the ceasefire, so the UK is telling its citizens that once this ceasefire lifts, it's going to be impossible to evacuate citizens from what they call a war-torn, fragile country. Yep. So situations there deteriorating. Right, the situation there is deteriorating. Again, the UK government in particular saying that they cannot predict what's going to happen once the ceasefire ends. Right, and more than that, we see the WHO, the World Health Organization, again stating that they're very concerned because there was a mass prison break in Sudan, a mass prison break from one of the country's main jails, right, which housed former members of the last regime. And more than this mass prison break, the World Health Organization said that warring parties, again, seized the lab, which contains measles, polio, right, and cholera, creating a high risk of biological hazard. So things could really take off there in Sudan. They seized this lab with all of these things inside. Cholera, Bigfoot, smallpox, all of that in this lab. And they're telling us 70% of the hospitals in Sudan are not functioning. Right, 70% of them not functioning, and staff have been killed. Hospitals are out of electricity and water, and no fuel for generators. So which means that the surgery and so on, 70% of the hospitals in Sudan are not working. Yep, that's part of what we're following this morning, folks. And finally, the things we're covering internationally, finally, they're telling us that there's this huge bridge, you know, highest railway rather, that's being constructed in Kashmir, right? Huge bridge. They said this railway in Kashmir is higher than the Eiffel Tower, just to give you a sense of how high trains gonna be moving. How high? Higher than the Eiffel Tower, the world's highest railway bridge. I'll try with that. Folks, I just telling you all this story, my foot feeling light. I just telling you all this story. Higher than the Eiffel Tower. I hate heights. If I can avoid heights, I do it at all costs. Hate heights. Highest railway bridge. Higher than the Eiffel Tower. Y'all try with that. And it comes and says, good luck with the bridge. I wish them well myself. Good luck with the bridge. Good luck with the bridge. Good luck with the bridge. That's why I sent to them myself. Good luck with the bridge. Turning attention to some of what's been happening, folks. Regionally, we're coming in from Latin America, coming into the Caribbean. Mexican president, fainted, blacked out. Just like the power went, to the room. He was at an event and fainted. You see? I think there's a problem some folks got with Biden, Biden's age coming into to question a lot. His age. When you're big, like us. Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. He said that he briefly blacked out in a meeting in Yucatan, right? On Sunday due to complications of COVID-19 infection. Briefly blacked out due to COVID complications out front parts, right? Complications from COVID. He was treated. He said his heart and his brain were not affected, contrary to widely circulated rumors about his health. Right? Contrary to widely circulated rumors, his health and his heart and his brain, he says, are okay, but he still has not resumed official duties. Yep. We wish Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador speedy recovery, President of Mexico. Yep. Wish him well. Haiti, folks. Haiti. Like Sudan, they say the crime rate has doubled in the last year in Haiti. And want to watch that? Double since last year. Right? The Caribbean island faces widespread insecurity, gang violence. Yeah. It is a tipping point, They were over there a long time ago. And here with other information we have. 1,600 incidents of homicide, rape, killing, and lynchings were reported in the first half of 2023. 1,600 incidents of homicide, rape, killings, and lynchings were reported in the first quarter of 2023. Right? Up from 692 during the same period last year. Yeah. So things are escalating. Certainly there. Things are escalating. And again, I say it's, mystery to me why we're not doing more for our brothers and sisters there in Haiti. We got to do more for our brothers and sisters there in Haiti. We got to do more. Got to do more. In the 592, folks, we're circling back. Oh, you see why I'm rushing? You see I'm rushing to the 592, but we got one more we got to touch on. One more we got to touch on before we head to the 592. In Trinidad, the police, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, They have presented to the government a crime plan. If you got crime, you have to have a plan. If you got crime, you got a plan. But in Guyana, the people who are supposed to be producing the plan might be involved in crime. Yeah. The people who should be producing the plan, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. Annette, you and the Thomas wants to know where and what is CARICOM doing. The crime plan people on watch lists and so on. How you put thief for watch thief? You know, but TNT moving forward with a crime plan. You see? You remember Anouk asking for transparency? I wonder this is one of the reasons. We wonder if this is one of the reasons. You know, we're learning that both sides, that fatal accident at both sides, that fatal accident at both sides, you know, which claimed the life of that excavator driver. That accident, Neptune, Hercules, that accident at both sides, which claimed his life. So the report is out. The report is out. But look at the bastions of transparency. You see, some reports, they come quick. Look what happened here. But most of them, the findings of the report were not released to the media. I wonder why. And the labor minister, Glory Joe, claimed that he has not read the report yet. However, he noted the recommendations will be implemented. So I ain't read it yet, but we agree with everything he said. The recommendations will be implemented, but they have not released the report to the media. These are the transparency folks, the good governance folks, and they will not release it either. So don't hold your breath. They are not going to release it either. So folks, don't let us hold our breath. Please and thank you. Right? Little Prac says that the police force and the crime chief and the others are political stooges of the PPP. That's what Little Prac says there. And it comes and says a bunch of fools running Guyana. No quarrel with you there, Annette. No quarrel with you there. So that report is not going to see the light of day. No. I'm telling you, I ain't read it yet. And exactly what were the circumstances that caused the death of Neptune, Hercules? I ain't read it yet. But we know, we agree. They're going to implement the recommendations. Right? Omar Khan, Colonel Omar Khan is set to take over the GDF, the Guyana Defense Force, on Friday. They're telling us. On Friday. Yeah. Believe it or not, Omar Khan. Friday, as Brigadier Godfrey Best steps down as the head there, Chief of Staff. As he steps down, Omar Khan is taking over the reins of the army. Yep. That's what we're hearing. It's interesting though. It's interesting because in the 2020 promotions they had at the end of August when them were installed, in the promotions, you know, we know that Gary Beaton, he had a list in promotions as he was promoted to brigadier. Right? So the FNLA administration, they're skipping others senior to Omar Khan and installing their man there. Good for y'all. We wish Colonel Khan, soon to be Chief of Staff, we wish him the best. We wish him the best. You know, you had other persons who were promoted in 2020, including Colonel Khan. He was promoted, he was Lieutenant Colonel. You had Ronald Hercules, Julius Skeet. Ken Lloyd Roberts was also promoted in that tranche there. But Khan beat out all of them, including Brigadier Gary Beaton. Khan is going to be the new head of the armed forces, head of the defense force. And they tell us our number's too small for an army. We got a force. So Khan has made a list. Right? Little Prack in the comments says, Omar Khan is being pushed by the PPP. Say what? Yeah. We wish Khan the best. We wish Khan the best. Because if he does his job well, we can be better off for it. If he does his job well, right, we're going to be better off for it. And Brigadier Bess, as we said, Brigadier Bess, Godfrey Bess, Brigadier Godfrey Bess, his 33 years military career comes to an end on Friday. And we wish him the best, whatever comes after this. Whatever comes after this. He's still a young man, and he's been making the rounds, saying his goodbye. All right, saying his goodbyes. 33 years of service to the Ghana Defense Force comes to an end on Friday. He says that one of the most valuable lessons I've learned during my career is leadership. As an officer, I've had the privilege of leading soldiers and civilians from all walks of life. I learned that leadership is not about rank or authority. It's not about rank or authority, but about character and commitment. It's about setting an example, inspiring others, and empowering them to reach their full potential. Leadership is also about taking care of your subordinates and putting their needs above your own. It means being willing to make tough decisions and accepting responsibility for the consequences. And above all, it is about never losing sight of the fact that your subordinates are not just employees, but human beings with families, dreams, and aspirations. Fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic. 33 years of service to the military. And we say to the Brigadier Godfrey Bess, well done and thanks for your service. Sir, thank you for your service. Thanks for your service. We hope and we wish the incoming Chief of Staff all the best. All the best. Because it's all of us pulling in the same direction to move this country forward, you know. All of us pulling in the same direction to move this country forward. We wish him the best. That's some of what's happening there. And of course, the Irfan COI report, you know, Irfan's election COI, Commission of Inquiry report, is out. It is out. You know, it's only the PPP. Only the PPP can trip over themselves. Only the PPP. And I'll show you why. You know, they're always hustling to do something. And it's like you got one thing to do. That is the thing that really upsets me. Right? That is the thing that really upsets me. Is the over-rigging. You got one thing to do. And by God, you can't even do that well. That is the thing, folks, that seriously upset me. Right? You got one thing to do, one thing. Oh, let me get it right, the man. Could we get it right? Could we get it right? One thing we got to do. So here is the Sabbath News. making the same observation that we made. Right? The PPP wants to keep Claudette Singh. She's doing their bidding. And if nothing told us before of where Claudette Singh is in relation to this government, is this report. If you were confused before, this report tells us that Claudette Singh is wedded to this administration. The report made no mention of the chairman of GCOM. It indicts Lowenfield. It indicts Myers. It indicts Mingo. And in all of that, in all of those indictments, Leon Hardin, Rhonda Gordon, Claudette disappeared from the report. It's like Claudette is not even chairman of GCOM. Tabak News says, it is unclear why, given its terms of reference, the Commission of Inquiry did not comment on the conduct of the GCOM chair. It is unclear. This is Tabloid News in their write-up, in their article this morning, of which they point out all of those indictments being made by the Commission of Inquiry. And this is how I tell you, the PP is over-rigged. They didn't even give a little shade. Huh? They didn't even give a little shade. They didn't even tell the commission, oh, give a little thing with that. Don't knock shit too hard, you see. Maria Vera, don't knock shit too hard. Just a little jab. Right? But no mention. Folks, you and I saw Claudette understand. Any CEO who had comport themselves, the way Claudette comport herself during that election period, during the COI, and come out unscathed. And y'all want us to believe the veracity of that report? Give us a break. Give us a break. Irfan Ali, Barjak Dio, and the whole Commission of Inquiry, give us a break. That's how you know it's a set piece. No right-thinking Guyanese, not even the PPP supporters, believe that if Mingo, Lowenfield, Myers had a hand in that election, Claudette could be innocent. Not even PPP supporters. Don't come to Pakui. Don't come to Paku us. I mean, look, how come Claudette run out unscathed? Yeah? Suddenly, GCOM can investigate signatures. Yeah? And the folks on the line, right, we need a COI just for that, to investigate these fake signatures, so let them guys come back. Bank the big money. You're telling us this COI going to cost us somewhere about $500 million. Oh, you think it's a 70,000 everybody's working for? $300? Must be US a month. You think it's minimum wage them judges come here and work for? They said this COI is going to cost Guyanese taxpayers about $500 million. But they get the money's worth. Right? They get the money's worth. There isn't any mention, Margaret. There isn't any mention, Margaret Nelson, of Claudette in the report. This is Tabloid News asking, or rather saying, it is unclear why, given its terms of reference, the Commission of Inquiry did not comment on the conduct of the GCOM chair. Even Tabloid News, middle of the road, had an expectation. Claudette going to get lash. And I'm using lash in a broad term, the broadest meaning. Claudette going to get lash. Because lash in this country has several meanings. If you're a young lady or old, And the man said, I can lash you. Some people may start smiling, some people may start getting vexed. Right? Because you got the fearful apprehension that force is going to be applied to your person, which is assault. Fearful apprehension. Or, you say, it's been a little while now. Some people, I'm using it in the broadest sense. I don't mean physical force will be applied to the chairman of GCOM. You know, but something harsh will be said about during the report. You got to be careful with these boys, you know. You got to be careful with these boys. Even Sabbath News says something coming, Claudette. Something coming. And it goes on. Right? Based on the terms of reference, they start. They're unclear why. No comment on the conduct of the GCOM chair, Justice retired Claudette Singh, on March 5th, when the first, according to Sabbath News, when the first illegal declaration, according to them, right, was made. Singh had been accused of not taking any measures to stop Mingo. Later in the day, she was found, right, shunned in a room which did not have door handles. Is them boys break it off? Remember them boys from Anug? The one from TNM and the one from Anug? In a room that didn't have no handles. She has never, this is Sabbath News, satisfactorily explained what happened that day. And when she testified before the inquiry, the commissioners appeared perplexed by her conduct on that day. But Claudette disappeared from the report. Folks, you understand what you pay $500 billion for? You get what you pay for. You get what you, and they want we believe this report. This report, Jesus have mercy. Claudette in a house, right? Not almost burned down. The police come and they take a statement from everybody else and say, Shion, we want it. You see? She's a former retired judge. She report, laugh it out. Folks, and y'all want us to take, come on. I tell you, these guys is over-rigged. They're not even making attempt at believability. They're over-rigged. Claudette has vanished from the COI report. Even Claudette was vexed with them for that. I thought even Claudette was bracing. I say, all right, something coming here. Something coming here. Right? As a matter of fact, Sabbath News went on to say that Claudette made a surprise appearance at the COI. Did Claudette know wherever you say, nothing will end up in the final report? So you won't talk. Did Claudette know? Folks, this is a set piece. Right? A set piece. Folks, the script was written. Claudette knows her role in the script. You see? She know her role. She knows her place. Where to stand up. She know her cue. It's a set piece. If you could stun Sabbath News, middle of the road, right? What you want to tell us? Folks, I beg them, carry back this report, right? And then declare the piece that you are left out, and then I can take you seriously. Carry back this report, and then declare the piece. You see? And then come back to me. And I can believe what you are saying, and Myers, Mingo, and Lowenfield. Y'all do that. Right? You gotta add the element of believability, folks. Yeah? Believability in this story here, this narrative. The characters in a story, you must be able to relate to them. Relate to them. Folks, you gotta understand how stories work, you know. Whatever the characters do in the story, you know, whatever lives they're living, whatever contention they're involved in, the conflict, story must have conflict. You see, you must got structure. And by the end of that story, you got to stitch it together now. Everything in that story must tie together and make sense at the end. Unless the commissioner of inquiry telling me they got a second report, they're saving just for Claudette. Because that is only how this conflict involving Claudette is not resolved in part 1. Because in part 2, bam, right? She got her own sequel. Claudette, the report. I thought literature, you think I just drop here? Huh? I taught English language and I taught literature. English literature, stories. Folks, you got to stitch the thing together. You see? And that's how good movies are made. Right? You got all these characters doing different things and say, probably here, and so on. And then by the time you come middle course now, you see, in the height of the action, you got to resolve all of these conflicts and stitch it together. And the thing must make sense. You add structure to it. It must make sense. It must be believable. Then you go to the theater and say, this movie is science fiction. But it makes sense. I could see, if I stretch my imagination, I could see. If I stretch my imagination, I cannot see why Claudette is left out of this report. That might be something. That's why you gotta watch them. That is why you got to watch them, as a man just said. Because every opportunity the people have to be involved in mischief, they take it. They take it. And this report here says to me, and should say to all of us, Claudette and the PPP, they're welded now at the hips. They welded now at the hips. And if Irfan was any decent president, high spirituality, high spirituality and all these fancy things, he would tell them, go and come again. Go and come again. Don't bring this nonsense to me. He likes it. You and Gaff. Don't bring it to me. Prophesy again, Commission of Inquiry. Prophesy again. Don't bring it to me. But them boys gave it a pay for. They get what they paid for. $500+ million. Nice time. Claudette get left out. They erase Claudette from this story. This they call a scrub. Expensive. Expensive. They erase Claudette. Right? Folks, if them boys come back and tell you, and Sherrod Duncan, chairman of GCOM, did some that silly thing, you say, I didn't even know Sherrod was there. It's true. Look, the commission said he was chairman during this time. It's true. Why are you thinking all this time was Claudette? Why are you thinking all this time is Claudette? Like the old age catching up with me. You didn't know. You scrub it. Them boys scrub it, boy. Scrub out Claudette totally. From what they call election fiasco. Attempted rigging. Claudette gone. Clean. Cleaner than the angel's wing. Clean. Folks, and if you think this story is coffafalationism, if you think this story is coffafalationism, oh, Father, this is them boys looking at the report. You see the American ambassador there? Them people asking, it's for Claudette there. That's what this photograph is. This is the report being handed over yesterday. Even having a moment with them boys, right? And then people ask me, but everyone's with Claudette there. He said, look, right here, look good, man, look good, look right here. Folks, carry back this report, please. Is that all I can use this right now? It's for toilet paper, please. For toilet paper, for toiletries. That's all I can use this for. Carry back this report. Carry back this report. If I see this report, if I get a physical copy, I can board it. Carry back this report, I beg of you. Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Please. I know y'all know how to go, but I know y'all this bad and desperate again. Every opportunity for mischief, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. Enter me. Oh my God. Them by Semi is permanent secretary, and she's permanent. Oh boy. Folks may put out a statement. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs. an extremely sensitive ministry and position May holds. She's lost all respect of her contemporaries, all respect of the staff, and the public service by extension. And if May had any decency, you see, May would retire now into private life and do the things that really seem to excite her. Go on your hunting trips and whatever else you do with your private time. Do those things, because clearly this public life thing and public service ain't cut out for you, May. I'm sorry, you might be good at something else. Something else. Folks may put out a statement. I can tell you, May didn't write this statement. I can tell you the first. Right? May didn't write this statement. She didn't write it. But a statement was put out. A statement was put out, folks. Folks, I tell these people is overrig. That's my problem with them. Overrig. A statement came out. I wish to refer. You see? That's what May said. I wish to refer. I wonder if I can share this. I wish to refer. All right? Let me see if we can share this screen. Give me a sec. I want you to see what talking. I want y'all to think we lie for me. I want y'all to see what we're talking about. I want y'all to think we lie for me. Let me see if we can work some magic here. Folks, this statement here, the people know the able. As we say in the Guyanese vernacular, they know the able. Folks, the overrig. Trying to see if I can share. We neglected to put this up. But I want you to see what we're talking about. This statement. All right, this might not be as easy as I want it to be. It may not be as easy as I want it to be. Oh, you gotta work out kind of magic in these parts. Right? Here May say this statement. I wish to refer to speculations. Both in the print, right? And according to Sherry Duncan, so she didn't mention me. Print and social media, about my interface, not about my detention, my interrogation with U.S. immigration. No. Joy, Naomi, Donna, Maria, May said it was an interface. Right? That's the first clue. May didn't write this. Right? May didn't write this. This probably come from Tagman or one of them places. Good. She's addressing this speculation about her interface. Now, first thing, this sounds like a foreign language. If you're speculation about my interface, recently with U.S. immigration in Miami, this is April 8th. We found out about this last week. Transparency people. Most of what has been reported, May says, is erroneous. Most of what has been reported is erroneous. I wish to clarify that I was referred for a routine secondary check. Like a friend called you and said, go and do this check. I was referred. You know? Like when you're finding out now about Cinnabon and Starbucks, all this thing here nice, was going to try it out. I was referred for a secondary routine, secondary check. There was a misunderstanding over my official cell phone without me being able to advise my officials. Now that there, the grammar, the syntax, folks, like a story, even in a sentence, you know, a sentence must have structure, things in the sentence must make sense in relation to other things, right? There was a misunderstanding with US. There was a misunderstanding over my official cell phone without me being able to advise my officials. Like, what does that mean? You know, I think Low and Feel and them had a misunderstanding too. They had a misunderstanding, you know, during their interface with GCOM. What's a misunderstanding? She had a misunderstanding, you know, about her official cell phone. She says, I advised that the cell phone be sent to the Minister of Home Affairs, the Honorable Robeson Ben in Guyana. So there, she's being referred and she's advising them. This is high-level meetings, you know. Yeah. She's advising U.S. authority. Yes. You all know me had a kind of standing. She advising them. Right? Y'all sent to Robeson, man. Right? Y'all think it's the wrong color? I should bring another one that matches my outfit. Oh, y'all think I should be using Samsung? Here's iPhone, huh? It was a misunderstanding. She had a misunderstanding. She said, y'all send it to Robeson. He didn't be expecting it. Send him a boss. This is the woman who, for them telling us, was on a PPP meeting. Right? She wasn't on official duties. She is the Secretary General Secretary of the PPP. Even says the PPP sent her to China. She wasn't a work assignment. But yes, she said, send it to my boss at my workplace. Not the General Secretary of the PPP. No. Send it to Robeson. The Home Affairs Minister of the whole country. Don't send it really to the people who send me on the trip. The PPP. Send it to my boss at my workplace. All right, me. I turn this over rig. You gotta watch them. But here's where it gets interesting. Listen to the language again. Right? This sounds like somebody who English is not the first language. So they're translating now. Somebody's translating what they've said in English. You know, like when children now learning to speak, how they construct the language differently. Right? You might say, for instance, I love you. You can expect a child might say something like, I love back to you. They're trying to understand language and they're missing some elements. Right? And that is what I gathered from this part that says that there was this misunderstanding without me being able to advise my officials. I don't know what that means. Who is my officials? She wants to advise her officials. I don't know. She says, thereafter, listen to this. Thereafter, this is Mary talking about, I was allowed the choice of entering the United States of America or continuing on my journey, which last I opted to so do. I am quoting the PS's statement. I was allowed the choice, right, of entering the United States. That's what the PS said. I was allowed the choice of entering the United States. No, I am not taking any responsibility, good folks, for what you're hearing. If you see syntax is bad, grammatical structure, I'm taking responsibility for that. I don't refer you like May refer the U.S. authorities to her boss. There is where I refer you. I ain't taking responsibility for that. I'm not. So here is May. May says, I was allowed the choice of entering the United States or continuing on my journey, which last I opted to so do. Which last I opted to so do. Now, I don't know about this choice, because if you're going to China, but you're in transit in the US, why are they giving you the choice of entering the US? That part a little strange to me. Right? Ali said you're going to China. You say you're going to China, but America tried to send you somewhere else. They said they allow you the choice of entering the US or continuing on my journey, which last I opted to so do. I don't know what to make of it. This is like the Commission of Inquiry, you know, the Evans Election Commission of Inquiry. I don't know what to do with this. Subsequently, during my return, right, I was advised that my US visa was revoked on April 10th. 2 days later. Right? She spent 2 days in China, and then she coming back on my journey, on my return journey on April 10th. Right? I was advised that my visa was revoked. He even said, easy, no controversy here. It's routine. It's routine. And if this is routine, it begs the question, how many members of the PPP visas have been revoked while traveling recently? How many? It's maybe the first, the second, the third. So this is routine. Routine secondary check. Visa revoked, no controversy. That's what everyone said yesterday. I ain't see no controversy here. It's routine, man. We people just be passing through airports and visas are revoked. Our visa was revoked on April 10th. Right? And so I will have to make alternative arrangements to return to Guyana. People say, don't come back here. The same people May telling us was offering to have her enter the US. 2 days later, change your mind and revoke your visa. I told y'all, in stories, good stories, everything got a stitch together. That structure. One thing relates to the next, it relates to the next. Initially, when the pictures start, and this is picture like picture, the things might seem unrelated. You see? From the time a movie starts, if it is day, that means something. The setting is a storm, it relates, it must relate to something else in the story. It must make sense. So the things have to stitch together. The same people who are just saying, come May, enter the land of the free and the home of the brave. 2 days later say, hey, excommunicado, persona non grata. 2 days later. That's what made Hamas believe. 2 days later, they changed their mind. She said, offer me the choice of coming into the US or proceeding on my journey. And according to her, which last I opted to so do. Right? Remember, we're translating here French to English. Which last I opted to so do. Right? So from welcoming me, they're now excommunicating her. That is the strongest signal a country can say, we don't want you to come here. Right? Revoke your visa. But that's not where it ends. Right? Here's the closer for us. Here's the closer. Because based on the closer, you're going to know this is a sequel. There's a sequel coming. Might be a trilogy. Here's the closer. Hear me. But tell you all my powers. To tell you all the powers that May got. Hear me. May said, I remain. This can tell you the position of May in this government. May is only PS, you know. But May holds a position higher than a PS. You see? The only next position May could hold is Vice President. And the position already filled by Jack Leo, may higher than a PS. But that was a vacant slot to hold Shover. You see, until another slot has opened, she higher than a PS. May says, I remain open to engaging with US authorities on any possible travel arrangements to the US in the future. Like, what the hell does that mean? What the hell? What the hell does that mean? I remain open to engaging with US authorities on any possible travel arrangements to the USA in the future. The only other thing to see coming here is rendition. I don't know. I don't know if those are the arrangements that they're talking about. When she gonna land in her orange jumpsuit. You know, cute and all as May is. You know, cutable as May is. You know, the orange jumpsuit will bring out her complexion real good. She remains open. Folks, I can miss them when they gone, you know. You know, I can miss them when they gone. I can miss them. You know, in comparison, even with 2020 election, you know, as part of it, Granger had a boring administration. Granger had a boring administration. Right? May's the spice here. May's the spice. Who needs cinnamon? You know, who needs Starbucks? When you got a beverage like me. When you got a beverage like me, May say, I remain open to engage him. Folks, this is like when you're teaching a F grade. You say, I'm open. You see, to reviewing this grade A later on. Me telling them that's not the final grade. This is not the final grade. I remain open to discussing this at a future time with them. You see? They can change their mind. They can change their mind. I don't know. Maybe May's going to hire a big fancy PR firm, you know, to find out why our visa was revoked. Who knows? Who knows where this can lead us? But for the time being, see, I remain open. This one sound effects. Pam, pam, pam. To build. You see, you got to build this story now to that crescendo. Pam, pam, pam. I remain open to engaging with US authorities on any possible travel. You see that? Oh man, that's big. That's class. Any possible travel. See if I have any possible future travel needs. I remain open to y'all making me an offer. You see, to receive back my visa. I remain open. That's a stroke, man. That's a masterclass in humility. Right there. I remain open. Not to any investigation, you know. Not avail myself to any questioning further by US authorities to clarify any misunderstandings. I remain open to engaging US authorities on any possible travel arrangements to the USA in the future. Shabag like that. Shabag like that. Shabag like that. I'm gonna miss you when you're in Orange, me. I'm gonna miss you. When you're in Orange. I'm gonna miss you. 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 You're big like that. You're big. Go to front. Go to front. Folks. Y'all like story, listen, you know. Y'all like Bacchanal. That's the time, unfortunately. And that's our program, folks. That's the time. That's the program. Don't forget, folks, partner with us so that we can keep on keeping valid, credible information. I want y'all to know I remain open to engaging y'all. You see, partnering with this program. I remain open Right? And to prove it, we got Cash App, we got Zelle, we got PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union. I hope you all share the damn live. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. We remain open, you see, to engaging you folks on another program. We open Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union. That's the time. Good, folks. And that's our program. We would love you to know also, if you are going to be hunting for a good Justice of the Peace, Commissioner of Oaths to affidavit, we want to recommend the Alistair Collins firm. Get the answers you need, folks, with this fantastic organization. Get the answers you need. As a Commissioner of Oaths to affidavit and a Justice of the Peace, they provide expert guidance and support for all your documentation needs. They are open Monday through Saturday, down there at the Callion Mall on Lamaha Street, between Camp and Waterloo Streets. 649-6410, 685-6448. Those are the numbers, you can get them on. That's our time, folks. We're open to seeing you guys later on in the day. We're open to engage you guys later on in the day. But for now, Candidly Nendajit, Paris Calda, Billy, Ramasa, good to see you, Billy. Good to have all of you here, Ingrid King, and all you other guys joining us this morning. That's me time. Share the live before you go, please. Share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button for us, folks. This country got laughs. It's got laughs. Share the live, folks. I'm going to say save the live. Same thing. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. And let me go down the road. Let me go down. That's me time. Good, folks. And that's our program. See you guys real soon.